So we bought a Chinese telescopic loader. We've owned a big frame Chinese loader we bought secondhand and we were impressed with that. So thought we'd roll the dice on a telescopic one, and at the time of purchase we're like, all it's got to do is load our new fert shed and then load our truck and chaser bin with fert and urea through the year, so it doesn't have to be super reliable. And it was about a third of the price of anything we could buy in Australia, or anything reputable we could buy in Australia anyway. And it came with like half a container full of attachments. Every attachment we could think of, we bought for it. So like concrete mixer, post hole digger, massive big stick rake, 3 metre bucket for handling the fert, GP bucket and a 4-in-1 bucket. It could be something else that I'm forgetting, but that's all I can think of offhand. So I've owned it now for about 4 months, I think, and haven't done too much with it, mainly just shifting pallets and stuff, and it's just been a yard loader and all worked well. But now I'm starting to push up sticks with it and it's getting hot. So today gonna try adding that thermofan on it, just to try and push or suck more air through the radiator and keep the engine cool. So like when it gets to around that 30-degree mark, it just starts getting hot. So, and you just really can't push it at all when it gets up to 28, 29 degrees. Other than that, everything else goes pretty well on it. There's a heap of leaking seals on the axles. That's a bit disappointing, but for the price, I can get my head around that easy enough. Yeah, so the big issue at the moment is the cooling system. What else have I changed on it? Modified how they had the aircon going, because that was useless. It was just going to suck dirt in and just get blocked up. And so I've changed that around so it's a recirculating system. Added an extra air vent to get a little bit more air going in there. The compressor pump on the air conditioner system failed a few days ago, so that's had to be replaced with a better brand compressor pump from Australia, but that's fine. Hopefully I'm getting towards the end of the issues, or the issues might have just begun. Who knows? We'll see how we go. So you definitely get what you pay for. That was glued into that lens there and fell out within like 10 hours of it rolling around the yard. handbrake needs adjusting up. Righto, I've cut some angle to space it out from the ropes to get around the oil cooler. Then I'm going to weld flat in between that, and so I'm going to make 2 of them, and they're what's going to hold the thermal fan. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so I've just got everything cut, sitting there, just got to weld it up now and see if it all fits. Well, it actually fitted in there really good. These brackets I just tech screwed with some structural tech screws into the existing framework there. It's all sealed up nice. Now I've just got to run some leads for it. At this point, I think I'll just run it. There's a switch down on the battery that comes on, that switches on when you turn the key on, so I think I'll just run it off that big switch. That one there. Maybe later I'll run a relay and have a switch in the cab if I need to, but I doubt it. I think just a hard wire off the key should be fine. All in and finished. Far out and pushing from there now. Shouldn't have any troubles with overheating now. Well, it's the next day. I did like 3 hours on it last night, and it wasn't super hot, but it didn't get hot at all. So like the temperature wasn't super hot, but yeah, loader didn't get hot at all. So hopefully that's success. Caught a tree root on the stick rake and bent that, so I had to spend a few hours last night straightening that tine out. So that was a bit of a disappointment, and the main frame's slightly bent now on the stick rake, so at some point I'll have to try and straighten that out and strengthen it at the same time. Today, just back into pushing up sticks. Hopefully I'll finish the home block in an hour or so, and then down onto the creek country and start on all the flooded crap. But first I've got to clean up some junk around here from last night's efforts and grease the machine and fuel it up, and then I'll be away. Well, we're on the last day of stick pushing and doing fire breaks around trees with the loader, and it hasn't got hot once, so success. So it was getting up to there, which I think's, I'm going to say is 100 degrees, and now it only just gets over 90.